Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Hey tea sippers, happy Monday. I hope you guys are doing good today. I had an amazing weekend. This weekend was my Friendsgiving. So I had all of my friends and family come into town who can't come for, traditional Thanksgiving. And we had an amazing time. Lots of food, good energy. I'm definitely in better spirits, now that I gotten a chance to just spend time with family and friends and people who really genuinely care about me. So shout out to everybody who came through. It was wonderful seeing you guys. So I hope you guys had an amazing weekend yourselves. The holidays are upon us. And of course, the drama never stops on social media, okay? So I want to go ahead and talk about all the drama that is going on right now concerning Miss Vivica A. Fox and Charleston White, okay? So what's going on is this. If you guys don't know, earlier in the year, Vivica Fox, she went on a hobo tour. And basically on that tour, she was stating that she's looking for a man, okay? She wants a good man who's a provider, and she's looking to take applications. She was on the Today Show. She was on the Sherry Shepherd Show. She wants a man, okay? Y'all go ahead and check out these clips.
Smith always says it gets greater later.
Yes.
Is that true for you?
Lately it has been. I've definitely been on the journey of life, but I had no ideas my 50s would be so fabulous.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
And especially when you get people, ooh, you getting old. You getting old? No, honey, I'm getting better.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right, girl. And you look every inch of better.
Oh, thank
It's just
you.
like you, even when you walked out here, you take my breath away, Vivica, all the time. Now,
How does 60 feel on you?
Well, my knees some days. I'm not gonna lie, my knees some days be like, okay, let's go get us some little help right there.
Talk about what else you're wanting. Are you dating?
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm wanting to date.
Yeah.
It's limited resources out there, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not getting on an app.
Why? You're just not into
I'm old-fashioned. I'm like, I need to meet you and sparks happen and stuff like that. Because I just believe people make up stories saying who and what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And
What
are you looking for at this stage, this point?
A partner.
Yeah.
And when I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
That likes to travel.
Yeah.
Going to let me go shopping.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like you just spoke it into existence.
I hope so, girlfriend.
I feel like you just
So
spoke-
you got, and I'm taking applications.
Oh,
so if you got a friend.
Okay.
I'm good.
We'll be all. We'll
And
all
I
be
don't
on the hunt.
discriminate. He can be. I'm not against different nationalities. Then you know that too.
All right, so you guys just saw those clips. So once that went viral, that Vivica Fox at the age of 60 was single and looking to mingle, the internet drug her mercilessly. She was drugged by both men and women. A lot of folks on social media said that she went from two can play that game to one can eat the ham. She went from a brick house to eating the entire house. She went from a fox to the old gray mule who ain't what she used to be. So basically, folks were throwing shade at her, basically saying that she's way too old, way too big to find love, and she needs to hang it up. So I'm going to go ahead and play you guys some of the responses that Vivica received over the past few months.
Here we go again, y'all. Goddamn. Actress Vivica Fox says that at the age of 60, she's finally looking for a husband and taking boyfriend applications. Man, let me tell y'all something. The sad part about it, she's not the only one. It's a lot of women, not just in the black community, but a lot of our sisters are waiting till they get damn near, I don't know, a cougar age to try to find love and trying to get married. I'm just be honest with you, sisters. You might get lucky sometimes, but 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna find a guy, because no man want a washed up woman, no matter what color she is. Look at her. She was bad as hell right here, but they got the boy Kevin Samuels right here. And look at her now. I'm sorry. Yeah, good luck with that, sister. I know some sisters gonna be coming at me in the comments, but look, it is what it is. You waited too long, sister. Give it up. Enjoy your life, God damn it.
Why does it pay to marry in your youth? Well, it keeps you from becoming who Vivica Fox is today. She is now 60 years old and she is ready to settle down and become married. But when we go into the precepts in Deuteronomy 24, it talks about a man who takes a new wife. A woman want to marry when she's fresh, when she's new, when she has not been tainted and ran through by many men. Because by the time she get done having her fun and being promiscuous, she's no longer any good. And therefore, it drops her value and it decreases her chance in becoming a righteous wife. So it's important not to follow the ways of Babylon, because they lead the so-called black woman astray to be destroyed, husbandless, and alone all by herself with a cat at 60.
When I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
No, he can't pay your bills. You are 60 years old and never been claimed. Jesus is her only man. Them weaves is intimidating. So is that Botox. And them BBS.
All right, so you guys just saw some of those clips. So now recently, Vivica Fox has returned, and this time she went on our good sis, Tamron Hall's talk show. And Vivica Fox is addressing the haters who ran to clown her for saying that she was taking applications and looking to mingle. She says she's satisfied. She's single at 60. She's satisfied. She's open to romance. But y'all are not going to keep, trying to put her out there like she's desperate. That's what y'all not going to do. So y'all go ahead and check this out.
So 60th birthday.
Yeah, there it goes.
Oh my gosh. And it's so interesting that the birthday coincides with this conversation about your singledom,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So as I said, you were on a TV appearance. You made a joke that you were taking applications. You got off air and men literally started sending
To my agent, to my publicist, BJ Coleman. Yes, but some of them forgot the picture. All that talk ain't gonna matter. Let me see what you look like. And yeah, they sent in actual, like, I'm from such and such, I do this, I'm this height, and everything.
So they sent applications, which is flattering, right? Because if you hear Vivica A. Fox is looking, I can't blame them for sending in an application. But then these headlines started with, finally, now she's looking and she's waited all this time. The negativity I felt started, and you saw it.
Yes, I did. It was a joke, as I told you when we talked on the phone. It was literally a joke. I've said it, but for some odd reason, because I was turning 60, I think they thought I was serious. And listen, let me tell y'all, it's not that I can't get a man. I got plenty of suits. I want to make that clear, okay? All right? Let's just get that straight. Ain't nobody sitting over here home alone and desperate.
Because some of the people tried to spin it like, oh, now she's 60, she's about to settle, poor her, she doesn't want to be alone.
No.
And you're like, no, you're assuming I'm alone.
Yes,
That's
and that's a bad assumption.
Right.
And you know what they say about assumptions, okay? But we gonna be on daytime TV and keep it clean.
But what I know about you, you're a very thoughtful person. You have made some of the most strategic business decisions for your career, what roles you take, what things you direct, what you put your name on. So you started getting into your mind, dissecting why this went viral.
Well, like you said, I think people think that I'm alone and that I'm like, desperate for a man.
How did that make you feel?
I didn't care. Because I hate to say, I know me, and I know I'm so booked, busy, and blessed in that order.
Right. So while, like you said, you didn't care because you have a foundation, but you do understand how other women are hurt by this when there's an assumption about you being over a certain age and that somebody doesn't want you or that something is wrong with you.
Yes, or that something's missing.
That something's missing if you don't have children. So you empathize with women who are feeling this frustration.
Of course I do. Because, why do you not think we're less value because we don't have a mate or that we don't have children? You guys gave me some stats that there's like over 40 million single women.
Right.
So obviously we okay.
Right.
Okay? So obviously we're okay.
All right, so you guys just saw Vivica's response to a lot of the unnecessary hate that she was getting from her original from her original conversations about wanting to date. So Charleston White was asked about this interview and asked about, Vivica Fox wanting to date at 60, and he went ham on her. Like, he literally went off. He called her a burnout. He went in on her. I want you guys to go ahead and watch this video here.
Vivica Fox says she's ready to settle down now.
Ain't nobody sitting down with no burnout, ho. Nigga don't want no burnout. Nigga, man, once a woman get 31, 32, and nigga, she done had fun in her 20s, she's a burnout. That's why you see Jamie Foxx with a 22-year-old. That's why you see Floyd Mayweather with a 21-year-old. Niggas is looking for a turnout. Not a burnout. Many hoes burn out, nigga, at 28, 29, 30, and they done had fun from 17 to then. Nigga, they burn out. That's a high mileage vehicle. Nigga, that motherfucking transmission finna go out soon, and you gonna have to get a new transmission. A new transmission costs damn near what a new car costs, so nigga, go get you a new car. Yeah, nigga, fuck them burnouts, nigga. Man, them burnouts just good for a moment. See, them burnout, hoes like that is just good for 1 or 2, 3 fucks. A woman like Vivica Fox don't know how to take and please a man to the fullest because she's been selfish. That's why she ain't been married. It's been all about her. That's why you gotta eat her pussy first. That's why you gotta take her out first. Go get you a turnout that's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
What you think is like they're trained, like they're
conditioned.
Your perversions and
things. No, they're conditioned. They're not trained. Oh. The Bible speaks of training. The Bible says you're supposed to train up a child in the way that they should go. So when you think about training, think about police training, fire training. We're raising kids. We teach them some things, but we're not training them. So that's why they don't know which way to go, because they haven't been trained up. So, nigga, ain't nobody training these hoes. Man, these hoes being conditioned based off the type of man they attract and the type of man they choose to let inside them. Ain't nobody training these bitches. These hoes fucked up by their choices. Shit, man, don't let the whole trick y'all.
All right, so you guys just heard what Charleston White had to say. So, of course, this caused tons of controversy online. People were not here for it. Folks were going in on Twitter. They were going in on Instagram. One of the comments says, "Can someone explain to me why people listen to him? I'm genuinely curious." Another person said, "Not a single woman alive is worried about Charleston White's opinion." Another person says, he's always saying something, get a life. He's burnt out, to be honest. All he do is run his mouth. Another person says, ignorant. Half of y'all can barely keep it up past 30. Women reach their peak with extra mileage. Y'all sound crazy, but please remember women live longer than men, but we the burnouts. Shaking my head. So it's a lot of opinions going on about the situation. One thing I find very interesting about these conversations, and again, everybody that I've posted in this video is entitled to their opinion, right? Vivica's entitled to hers, Charleston is entitled to his, so on and so forth. But it's very interesting how a lot of people talk as if aging is not going to affect them. Like, a lot of these men talk as if they're not getting older. There's videos of Charleston White on the internet. He's balding at the top. He's looking older. Like, nobody stays young forever. Yes, Vivica Fox is older. Yes, she's gained weight. That is part of the aging process. And then we'll sit here and shame people for aging and getting older, but then in the same breath, sit here and act like once a woman turns 30, they just need to roll over and die. And then we wonder why all of these young girls who are 25 are so scared to turn 30. They're getting all types of plastic surgery. They're getting, quote unquote, baby Botox. They can't even move their eyebrows because they're so scared of, just having natural wrinkles that come with your face from smiling and having a good time. This is why a lot of people in Gen Z look older than millennials and look older than Gen X, because they're trying to do all this preventative maintenance so they don't look older.
Apparently, there are plenty of things happening now to be concerned about, but apparently Generation Z, those are the folks born between the years 1997 and 2013, they apparently are terrified about turning 30. They are panicked social media threads from 20-somethings worried about losing their stamina, sex appeal, value as they age.
Ridiculous.
And that they'll have nothing to look forward to other than wrinkles, health issues, and death.
Oh, my God.
Some blame the internet for stirring up aging phobia.
Here's some things that I do to slow down the aging process as a 14-year-old. I started doing most of these things at 12. Number 1, I take 2 apple cider vinegar pills. I do this twice a day. Number 2, I use a retinol twice a day. And one of my favorite tips is I get my body lotion and put a little bit in that and then apply it to my body as usual. It's actually so good for you. Next is I love Korean skincare and I do 2 face masks a day. I always use the leftover essence all over my body. I leave this face mask on for around 10 minutes. Never forget to do skincare on your neck because that's one of the main things that ages. Again, using the leftovers. Next, I would always recommend a sunscreen with usually an SPF above 50. I use 3 fingers worth before my makeup. It doesn't matter if I'm just going to school, I always do this. Next, I always have green tea in the morning. Green tea is great for slowing down the anti-aging process and it's super anti-inflammatory and it also tastes super good. I always add a spoonful of raw honey to it because that's also an anti-inflammatory. And the next thing I do, and probably the most crazy, is whenever I'm going on a long road trip, I always tape up a piece of construction paper. This blocks most of the UV rays. And last but not least, I always sleep with a satin pillowcase. Bye, hotties!
Also, 14-year-olds going to Belgian pharmacies asking the pharmacist for anti-aging cream for themselves. But you know, that's a problem with TikTok. It's a really big problem. It wasn't like this before. Yes. Because it's a generation where they assume the RX is on TikTok. Yeah. You don't need to ask doctors, actual pros. You know, you go to Sephora, look at the NARS commercial, #1 on TikTok. It's like, guys, we're in Sephora. They're professional makeup artists there. We don't need TikTok advice. They're full of children, and 2, they put filters on anyway. Simple is the best. Look.
So I am turning 30 this coming year. And every time I think about it, I get like this weird pit in my stomach. Like my stomach just like hollows out and I get like so nervous. And it's just been like the weirdest feeling. Mind you, my birthday's not till July, like the end of July, but I'm anticipating it. I just like can't believe my 20s are over. I'm not okay with this. So anyways, people who have turned 30, is this normal to get like a literal like pit in your stomach about turning 30? I mean, obviously I'm grateful, but like this is a weird feeling, like a new decade. I don't remember feeling this when I turned 20. So I need to know like what's on the other side of this 30th birthday.
The oldest Gen Zers are turning 30 soon and they're terrified. But who's to blame? Social media or older generations? The New York Post says blame their fear of aging on a culture that's obsessed with youth. Hashtags like anti-aging are trending at an all-time high. Fashion Journal blames something else. They say Gen Z's fear of aging is fueled by FOMO and social media ageism. On the other hand, this TikToker blames millennials. They talk about the grim realities of adulthood all over the internet. It's no wonder they're making Gen Z anxious. But one Redditor thinks Gen Z's fear of getting older is just a phase. Every generation goes through it. But the New Yorker offers a different perspective to put Gen Z at ease. They say turning 30 is a mixed bag of DIYs and self-acceptance. So why do you think Gen Z is afraid of aging?
And then while he's talking and making it look like just because a woman is 30, 40, or 50, they're ran through, that is so disrespectful. Not everybody who's older is ran through. Some women actually respect their bodies. Some women haven't been with every man that's looked at them or winked at them. You know what I'm saying? And in the meantime, you have something like Hotok, which is on TikTok. There's a whole subcategory called Hotok. Most of those women are in their 20s. They're literally out being honest about their hoe activities, their escort work, their prostitution work, and all of these women are in their 20s. So they're getting ran through and they're being public about it. Matter of fact, a girl went viral the other day for sleeping with 100 men in a day. This is insane. So you mean to tell me she's more valuable at 20 with 100 men fucking her in a day than somebody in their 40s who may have only been with a few men?
Ran through by 101 men, and my eyes are still recovering from all the bodily fluids that went in them.
I went viral for letting 23 guys run a train on me with my friend Bonnie. Now, that video is actually out now, so if you want to check that out, you know where to go. But if you want to be a part of the next one, I'm actually doing 100 guys in one day. So head on over to my Twitter to find out how to apply. Today is the day where I get
through by 100 guys.
She is probably like secure in the bag ultimately.
Yeah.
But
the comment is, what kind of society allows something like this, or what kind of society drives a person to take that kind of action?
And it's very interesting how some men will turn around and act like a woman is a hoe for being with a lot of men, but in the same breath, all they've done their whole life is chase coochie, create a bunch of broken homes, sleep with multiple women. My thing is, if a woman can be a hoe for doing that, so can a man. And you're not going to try and play these psychological mental gymnastic games like, oh, a man enters the vagina, so it's not the same thing. If you don't respect your body and you're sitting here creating soul ties willy-nilly, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, it's disgusting. And I'm tired of it being demonized only towards women. You know, women are supposed to be virtuous and not be out there hoeing and doing all this extra stuff. But a man can sit here and smash multiple women, you know what I'm saying, create broken homes, and somehow they're still seen as a prize. Now, I think both are sad and have issues. You know, just because you are 30 does not mean that you're burnt out, does not mean that you should be tossed away. Imagine if we use the same logic towards men and said that, you know, once men hit 30, 40, they're old, they had to pop Viagra, they have bad backs, and nobody should be fucking with them. That's insane. Everybody ages. And I think this type of rhetoric that's coming from both sides is starting to have a toll on younger people, and especially in society, because now there are real conversations being had on social media that a lot of people, especially women, are choosing to stay single. They don't want to be in a relationship. They don't want to have children. They don't want to be hurt. And because of rhetoric like this, they feel like, you know what? Since a lot of people are saying that I'm old and washed at 30, then, you know, I'll just be alone with my cats, going on vacation and living my best life. And you also have men saying that at this point, it's not worth it to be in a relationship. They'd rather just be single and doing them.
If you haven't been picked, whatever you're doing is wrong. Like if you're over 35 and you haven't been picked, whatever you're doing is all wrong. So I suggest considering new options, new types of people to date, and new ways of doing things, okay? Because you're not going to get the 45-year-old if you're 35, okay? They're looking for the 25-year-old now, okay? So just understand this. You've waited too long.
So for those that are asking, you're in your 30s, why aren't you married? Like, why haven't you got a boyfriend? Because I have inner peace. I've literally just swum in my pool. I'm home alone, doing absolutely nothing. I'm drinking out of a Darth Vader cup, like my water. Like, seriously, goals, eating food, and just appreciating the silence and peace that I have. Don't get me wrong, I would love to be married one day in my black wedding dress in Greece. Like, absolutely, here for it. But until someone comes into my life that's equally going to bring peace, I don't want it. Because I think we underestimate that. Like, I bring peace to a relationship. I'm not here to cause drama or chaos or absolutely anything like that. My home is my sanctuary. Like, I am a sanctuary, if that makes sense. And once you get that after chaos, you would do anything to not disturb it. So,
with everything that is going on now, I feel like this is the right time to stop actually looking for men, because what kind of men are we going to be even finding if we went out looking? What kind of guys are we finding these days with all this podcast going on, and to the extent that pastors are preaching this in churches, that women are going to be lonely? Anyway, I compiled a few clips and I want you to take a look, okay? These are some of the reasons why women are choosing to be single.
No right guy, because the right guy was with her and she probably messed it up. Listen, like there are women out there who are anywhere from 35, 40, 45 who can generally convince you he's coming. And no one knows who this guy is. Exactly. But to them, he's coming. Yeah. Where? And a woman will take so much else. See, the longer a woman's single, she's going to start to convince herself of things that she didn't even believe herself.
Made a video that went viral recently about how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that I got from men was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore. So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? Is it men that you're protecting us from? Secondly, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely, depressed men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel. We're being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. Before all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It is because women en masse are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men simply are not.
Reasons that I think so many 30 and 40-year-olds are choosing to stay single nowadays is because the reward doesn't seem to be outweighing the risk anymore. The reward being a relationship, love, and a partner, but the risk being your peace, your heart, and your sanity. And when you've dealt with heartbreak on a level that some of us have went through, you'll do anything in your power not to go through something like that ever again. And the level of strength that it took for some of us to pull ourselves out of these dark places, we don't want to find out if we have that type of strength again. And when you've been vulnerable, opened yourself up, and been all in with a person who turned around and lied to you, deceived you, manipulated you, instead of coming to you like an adult and telling you they didn't want to do it anymore, it just seems easier to us to protect our peace, protect our heart, keep our sanity, and stay single.
All right, so you guys just saw some of those videos. So like I said, a lot more people at this point are choosing to be single because they just feel like, what's the point of even trying? What is the point of even trying to get into a relationship if I've accomplished a lot in life? I've gone to school, got my degrees, I'm doing well, only for a man to be like, you're old and washed because you're not 22. So it's like, what does the future of humanity look like? Like, I'm looking at this deeper. Like, it's one thing to have an opinion, but all of this negativity, it's really taking a toll on us as a society. The birth rates are dwindling because men and women cannot get along. It's all this shade being thrown, all of this derogatory talk about the genders that's being implanted into the youth. And think about it, as we get older, we have to have another generation coming up behind us to not only take care of us, but take care of the earth, the infrastructure, and everything else. But with people not even wanting to be together because all of this divisive rhetoric, it's really scary to see where we're going to be in 20 years.
And this is what the population crisis looks like. Scientists call it a calamity in the making. Decades ago, it was a slow-moving force, but that's not the case anymore. The crisis has progressed. Now, the baby bust is happening quickly and widely. It is harming nearly every nation, and experts are bracing for a global population crash. Here's why. Fertility rate, or the number of births per woman, is falling across most nations. In 2017, global fertility rate stood at 2.5. 2017, 2.5. By 2021, it was down to 2.3. And now it is estimated to be 2.1. What is the ideal rate? 2.2. It's also called the replacement rate, the rate of births per woman, which keeps the population stable. That's the replacement rate. It should be 2.2. So fertility is dropping for women across all levels of education and income. In high-income nations, the situation has been bad for decades. Fertility fell below the replacement rate in the 1970s. But it's dropping in developing nations as well. And sometimes the decline does not scream crisis because it happens quietly.
According to the CDC, 3.6 million babies were born in 2023 in the U.S. That's about 76,000 fewer than the previous year and the lowest one-year tally since 1979. Joining us with the economic implications of the declining U.S. birth rate, Melissa Kearney is an economics professor at the University of Maryland. Good morning to you. Somehow every story relates back to Elon Musk one way or another, and this is an issue that he's been talking about for quite some time, Melissa. How bad is it, and when do we have to really start worrying about it?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me on, Andrew. So it's actually quite likely that in the not too distant future, the global population is going to decline. But in the U.S., we're facing a shrinking working age population pretty imminently. So I think that's something that we need to be worried about. Our working age population has been stagnant for a while. Births in the U.S. have been falling persistently and precipitously since 2007, and I don't see any reason to think they're going to turn around.
All right, so you guys just watched those 2 news clips, and this has been a serious conversation on social media now for, I would say, about the past 8 months. So I'm looking at this whole situation a little bit deeper than most. Most people are looking at it like it's just fun and games. Charleston's a comedian. And he's not the only one to talk like this. You see this from the red pill community. You also see this, too, from the hypergamy community or communities who feel like, everybody should chase that 1% of men, the millionaires and the ballers, when there's honestly not enough of those men to go around, right? And the problem is all of this rhetoric on social media is really taking a toll on people. It's affecting people's self-esteem. It's affecting how they see themselves. It's affecting relationships. It's affecting how young people view themselves. It's affecting the natural aging process. It's being demonized as if it only affects women. The whole thing is just really sad. And I feel like rhetoric like this is very harmful. And this is why we are where we're at right now with the low birth rates, with women who would rather be ran through by 100 men and make money off of social media than to get into a healthy relationship or a marriage and be a parent. So society is really screwed up right now. So I just wanted to go ahead and give my take on this. I'm going to go a little bit deeper than most when it comes to this entire conversation. But let me know your guys' thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about the entire situation. How do you feel about Vivica Fox looking for love at 60? How do you feel about what Charleston White and many people have had to say? And do you feel like these conversations are taking a toll on the next generation? And this is why you have 14-year-olds literally giving anti-aging tips? Like, that is insane to me. You are 14. You're nowhere near old. It's really sad. And then how do you guys feel about the declining birth rates? And do you agree it's because of all of this, male-female drama and divisiveness that people are not trying to get together and raise families and things like that? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Make sure you guys hit a like on this video. Feel free to share this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.